There's a lot of things I like about this defense, honestly. It gives us opportunity to use guys in different ways. A lot of different people have different roles, and we can use guys to their best of their ability and put them in different positions.
You specifically, how do things compare and contrast to what you had in the defense the last 2 years so far? I know it's early, but
I definitely feel as if right now my roles are, there's different opportunities. You're putting me in different positions. I'm seeing that I'm moving around on the field, so that's one thing I do like, and we can do that with anybody in the field. And I like how we're doing the defense and how we're learning it, and the standpoint of we're learning the whole defense.
how do you assess the season you had last year?
It's interesting. It's one thing to say is it's a good year or whatever, but to me, I kind of took it as it's a stepping stone. There's a lot to learn from last year. There's a lot to improve on from last year, and the job's not finished. We still got work to do. There's still things that I got to work on in my game, and learning the game and becoming a better player. So for me, it's just taking the next step.
Did things change for you when New Orleans went down in terms of the attention you got from the offenses?
Yeah, there's definitely played a role into that. That's a big part of our defense. He's one of those guys that helps a lot in that defensive standpoint. So, you have to figure out, but at the same time, we've always had that next man up mentality. So it's never one of those situations where you look at as if, it's hindering, but more of a thing of like, now it's time for the next man to step up and understanding that we all have roles and we all have to play those roles.
What kind of boost is that having him back out here for everything in the offseason? Just what's that done for you guys having Chandler back?
It's great. It's one of those. He's a key player in our defense, and he's communication and play style and just everything about him. And honestly, it's one of those things that you have. You were missing your brother. We were playing last year, so now you have that chance to play back with him and to get like another year with him.
What, if anything, carries over from the scheme last year for you?
There's football. At the end of the day, it's just, you have a job. You got to defend them, stop them from scoring touchdowns. You're doing the same things to that standpoint, but every scheme is different. Every team and every defense has their own implications and things that they do in their scheme that is different. So you just got to learn it up and understand that you have to be ready for whatever they throw at you.
Are you in a different spot on the field? What specifically is different for you? Is it the same type of job?
Yeah, I'm still an outside linebacker at the end of the day. I still got to rush the passer. I still got to do my job, play the run, set the edge. So as a standpoint of what am I doing, I'm still doing the same thing. So we just have the opportunity to learn new things and learn more and have a different role and bigger role in the defense.
You've got a new defensive coordinator, Aden Durde, who's very hands-on with the defensive line, obviously coaching the line in Dallas. What has that been like so far, getting to know him, getting to work with him on the practice field?
It's honestly great. We go really in depth through everything. So I feel the attention to detail on everything we're doing and how we're focusing on ball and how we're focusing how to, basically make yourself have the best opportunity pre-snap and focusing on those things and putting yourself in the best position. It's been great to be able to have that mindset and what he's teaching us and what we're learning from him. I've definitely enjoyed that.
A lot of guys up front, or several guys we've talked to, we've talked about kind of being moved around more maybe than they have been in the past. Is there a talent to that at all, or does it take some learning and things like that to kind of learn how to do that? Or?
It definitely does. It's, you're learning more positions. You're not, strictly playing on the outside. You have wherever you want to be. You could be off the ball, on the ball, over the center, wherever you want to put up somebody. So having that opportunity to learn and just having that chance to learn, it heightens your football IQ and heightens everything you're learning. So honestly, I think it's great, and I think it's something that we want, as a team, we're learning it. And once we get it dialed in and once we get everything cooking, I'm excited to see what it will look like.
What are you learning about Mike McDonald and his coaching style?
I'm learning a lot. He's a guy. I can tell he watches ball, and I can tell how much he's dialed in on his details. He's a very detail-oriented person, and so for us, it's one of those things that you have to match that energy and make sure you know what he wants and what his vision is for the team, what he wants it to look, and just doing our best ability to replicate that.
Boye, you guys are going to have some joint practices with the Titans this fall in camp. How different of an experience do you expect that to be, having a different team to work against?
Yeah, it's interesting. For my career, I've never had a joint practice, so this is going to be my first time doing a joint practice. I'm excited. Some new opportunity. We'll see how it plays out, and how honestly what it will feel like to go to travel to Tennessee, practice with them for a couple of days. So, it can't really change much for me, but more so of just your mindset of going to practice like you always do. That you got to get out there and get better.
Going back to Mike McDonald, what kind of culture have you seen? It's early that he's setting. What kind of culture he's setting for the club?
The culture's still undefined. We're who we are, and that's the standpoint is he's teaching us how he wants us to run it, And at the end of the day, it's up to the players to form that identity, to form that culture. And we're forming that. We're figuring out what we want it to look like, what type of team we want to be. And I feel as if once everything is rolling, we'll be able to showcase who we are.
How important is it for the players to have a coach that's willing to do that, to have a vision that lets the players know that vision?
I mean, it's very important because at the end of the day, when it comes to Sundays, who's between the white lines and whose identity is it showing? Yes, you have the coach's idea and the philosophies, but at the end of the day, it's who's between those white lines.
There's talk about expanding the NFL regular season to 18 games. What would you think about that?
I mean, I got a job. That's above me. I'll make those decisions. That's for someone else to decide.
What's the coolest thing you did this offseason? Or is that coming up next week, starting next week?
I mean, I think a really good thing I did. I took my family. We went to Belize. I got to see a different part of the world and exploring something new. And to see a different culture, to see a different country, it was amazing. And be able to share that with my family was something I really enjoyed.
What struck you about Belize?
That Caribbean lifestyle, the laid back, and how their way of life is a little bit different than how we do it here.
Anything else? Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.